The basic idea is, how do you separate yourself from the competition? How do you differentiate so clearly that the marketplace doesn't even see you as being in the same category? How many of you have something that you know you should do in your business? You know you should do it. It's the right thing to do. It's the smart thing to do. You are capable of doing it. It would make things better. And you're not doing it. Is it just me? Anybody else? Can I get a witness? You know, the basic idea behind becoming a Category 1 is very simple and very powerful. What is it that great companies, what is it that market leaders do to separate themselves from the competition? How do they differentiate? And if you look at great companies, whether it's the big companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, Southwest Airlines, to the little companies, you know, the really great pizza joint just down the street. Here's the thing, they've all got these basic characteristics in common. And it's not so much tactics as it's the way they look at business. It's the way they think about their business. And the great thing is that these ideas are available to anybody. It's just a matter of choosing to do it. Along with outside the box thinking, try inside the box thinking. You go back and innovate inside the box, and it could be the greatest return you'll get. Here's what I mean by inside the box: close to the customer. How many of you have ever heard of a company called Zappos.com? Raise your hands. How many of you are customers of Zappos.com? Raise your hands. Okay, so what's so great about them? What do they do that's so great? Somebody raise your hand. Okay, wait, somebody said fast. Who said that? You hit send and your doorbell rings. And what it's done is it's created these rabidly loyal customers. What else is unusual about Zappos? What else do they do that's pretty cool stuff? There's an old cliche that business is not rocket science. You know why it's a cliche? Because it's true. It's not rocket science. There are no secrets of success. There's not any silver bullets. I think everybody pretty much knows what to do. It's a matter of whether or not you choose to do it. Here's my favorite story about little kids being open. It's Ken Robinson's story. A little girl in kindergarten class drawing a picture. I mean, just will not raise her eyes from it. Laser beam focus on it. To the point that the teacher goes, "What in the world is she working on over there?" Teacher makes her way over to the little girl and says, "Honey, what are you drawing?" Little girl looks up and says, "I'm drawing a picture of God." The teacher kind of laughs and says, "But honey, nobody knows what God looks like." Little girl says, "They will in a couple of minutes." My little business has been very successful. We're very good at what we do. And because of that, I have to remember to say every day, Calloway, if you're successful, that means you know what used to work. You with me? And I'll say it to everybody in this room. I know who I'm talking to. I know how good you are. And if you're successful, that means you know what used to work. Tomorrow's another day, isn't it? How many of you agree that to stay competitive, you've got to be better tomorrow than you were today? Raise your hands. Of course we do. Now, you want to hear a tougher question? What did you do last Wednesday that made you better than you were on Tuesday? And you start thinking, Wednesday, oh man, we were slammed on Wednesday. I don't know. No. But if we all agree that we have to be better tomorrow than we were today, then that's got to be built in. This taking the next step thing, Kevin, it's not a project. It's a process, and it never ends. We take it every single day. You know, I don't really think of myself anymore as giving speeches. What I do is try to be a catalyst for a conversation so that the people engage with the ideas and they're drawing on each other's creativity so that they can take these ideas back and make something happen with them. The point is not what happens at the event. The point is what they do with it when they get back home. That's where the fun is. What's up with Les Schwab? Well, let's establish this. They sell pretty much the same thing as all their competition. They sell tires. They're round, they got a hole in the middle, there's good, better, best. Price pretty much the same as everybody else. But then when you look at the little things that they do, the little not rocket science things, that get people to say, this is an extraordinary company. It's things like this. Now, are you a customer of Les Schwab right now? How many of you are customers of Les Schwab? Raise your hands. Okay, a few of you, a dozen of you. Answer this for me. When you pull your car into a Les Schwab parking lot, what happens? They run to your car. This was not rehearsed. I can do this in front of any audience anywhere. And if there are people, if you are on vacation in the Northwest, in Washington, Oregon, Northern California, if you're in your rental car and you see a Les Schwab store, I want you to say, well, let's see if that thing's really true. Just pull in there and see what happens. And I guarantee you somebody will run to the car. And the thing that I love to imagine is that it didn't happen in some big strategy retreat with the executives. I love to imagine that at the end of the day, one day, they're all standing around the tire store and somebody says, we sell tires. How can we set ourselves apart? And I imagine some 18-year-old kid with grease on his face, and he's standing over there and he says, I don't know. Maybe we could just like run out there or something. Yes! Yes! Maybe you could just run out there or something. That idea, running to the car, one of the most powerful ideas I've ever heard. Throughout our whole conversation, Kevin, over the last few months about this event and what we were going to do with this time, in the back of my mind all the time, and with you, all those emails we sent back and forth, I was always thinking, am I running to the car? Am I running to the car? Am I demonstrating that you are the most important thing in my world right now? You know the poet Maya Angelou? She said, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. You know, the bottom line is that success is ultimately about the mindset of the people in the organization. And without the right mindset, it's not going to happen. But with the right mindset, you can do anything. Michelangelo said, the great danger for most of us is not that we will aim too high and miss it. The great danger for most of us is that we'll aim too low and what? Hit it. Aim high. You guys have a great time this week. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great time. Thank you. Thank you so much. We do one thing. We help great companies get even better, and we're really good at it.